St. Louis Rams fans, this is the moment you've been waiting for 20 years has finally arrived. You've seen the trailer that went viral, the shocking billboards in St. Louis and LA. You've been to my websites in record numbers. Myself and my partner, who are federal and state witnesses, have been threatened by federal judge Douglas Harpool in person and by the mails after I discovered that federal judge Douglas Harpool and the 8th Circuit Court clerks of Springfield, Missouri, run by Ann Thompson, assigned a dead federal judge, Richard E. Dorr, to my federal complaint in 2014. Judge Richard E. Dorr was dead as a hammer in 2013, 10 months to the day I filed. Look it up on the Springfield, Missouri website. And bribed Sheriff Betts and others in the St. Louis Sheriff's Department, including the entire 8th Circuit Court of Appeals office, making up 3 appeals courts rulings under false pretenses by forging appeals court judges' names on the made-up rulings. Absent all federal jurisdiction, no final order, no final judgments, 3 times in 2020, not to expose what I'm going to reveal here today, is that Stan, an unincorporated central bank, are operating the largest extortion bank fraud monopoly in this country's history, and the entire city of St. Louis knew it in 1995 and contracted with Stan Kroenke under false pretenses, knowing that Stan Kroenke used extorted money to purchase the Rams NFL team with, along with a void lease agreement, making that huge $700 million judgment void when the city, its crony lawyers, and the entire 8th Circuit Federal Court already knew about Central Bank being unincorporated, while at the same time the city and other mayors have never issued business licenses to Central Bank in 50 years because it's unincorporated. It's all proved by state's evidence in 3 federal concealed cases that Rams fans you never heard about until today. Either a state bank is incorporated or it's not. Stan's an unincorporated central bank are operating a bank front with the F.D.I.C., the St. Louis Federal Reserve, and others, and the entire Missouri government are all acting together under false pretenses with sham void contracts signed under false pretenses with Stan and others for over 20 years and with Central Bank for around 50 years. It's game over for Stan and Central Bank, bribe Betts, and countless others, including federal judge Douglas Harpool. St. Louis Rams fans, simply read the loan application that you signed. The scam is pulled off in plain sight. The 2 trust names on the credit card contracts, your loan documents, are under 2 names, Central Trust Bank and the Central Trust Bank. And as you've seen on my website, the Missouri Division of Finance custodian of records, Mick Campbell, verified that under oath in 2023, neither of those 2 trust names have ever been incorporated by the Missouri Division of Finance. Whereby St. Louis, there are now approximately 250,000 void home loans where you were defrauded, making your home and business and credit card and car loans all void immediately. You got that, St. Louis? No more payments to Stan Kroenke for the next 30 years. You keep your money. Now, St. Louis, you never knew that you were writing a check out to Stan Kroenke, the #1 scumbag of all time, the entire time. is Stan Kroenke is a bank imposter, where no one, including Stan Kroenke, can use extorted money, stolen loot belonging to us St. Louis Rams fans, to purchase an NFL team, let alone an old used car. St. Louis now, Stan never legally owned the Rams NFL team. And that answer was proved in federal court in 2014 and 2019, where federal judge Douglas Harpool, who acted obviously absent of all jurisdiction and all personal individual capacity, is now criminally negligent to every St. Louis merchant and vendor who were put out of business, could have stopped the Rams' move dead in its tracks in 2014. Stan has been a director of Central Bank since 1994, which was prior to stupid Stan signing the Rams NFL contract, where Stan had to falsify his contract to conceal the extortion scheme away from NFL officials till present day. Central Bank is obviously not incorporated with the Missouri Division of Finance. Stan and Central Bank are selling fake, uninsured F.D.I.C loans, also known as counterfeited securities, fake usury, fake credit, and no lawful contract and no debt, and no one spoke up. Now you know the shocking truth, and I was the only one who stood up for St. Louis, why thousands knew all about it. St. Louis, you are currently writing a check out to the number one scumbag of all time, Stan Kroenke, and he's doing so without an incorporated bank. How do you feel about that? The great news is that approximately 250,000 St. Louis homeowners, business owners, car owners, and credit card holders, you'll never have to write out another payment again. So what are you waiting on? And now the NFL knows. That's extorted money. That's why all the cover-up and bribery for 50 years, making all contracts with the city, the NFL, and with Stan void since 1995. Those are the two names on every loan and credit contract sold for 50 years in 6 states. I have more podcasts, including discussing in greater detail how a dead federal judge was assigned to my federal complaint that concealed Stan's entire operation. This and much more shocking news that the fake news won't have the guts to talk about. Those impacted by the steal of the Rams and Central Bank's felonies and want their loans and payments stopped right now, go to returntotheRams.stl.com, fill out the section regarding fraudulent loan documents. Take the loan and your closing papers into the unlicensed Central Bank loan officer with the local police that sold you the counterfeited security. Request a police report, be notarized, and demand a full investigation be accomplished with the loan officer present, showing you the fake promissory note, a fake deed of trust, and his phony license to sell fake loans, and Central Bank's business license, the mandatory F.D.I.C contract filed with the Missouri Division of Finance, which never existed for 50 years, which the loan officer, if he's still around, will never be able to produce. Tune in on my next podcast. High Impact will be live streaming and taking your angry, pissed off calls. Check the website for additional information, daily updates, listen to our pre-recorded calls with all the local bribed officials, the mayors, and listen to them sweat over the phone. Click and subscribe, the like button. Please comment, including you, Stan Kroenke, if you haven't tried to leave the country. Support High Impact Podcast when it's the only one that supported you, St. Louis, with 3 to 5 million households in 6 states free of Stan Kroenke's payments. Purchase the Kick Stan's bumper stickers out of the end zone. our t-shirts, hats, and our coffee mugs. Be part of your own winning, history-making St. Louis event you'll never forget. You're going to want to long remember it with a paid-off home. St. Louis, it's been a great grand opening event. St. Louis regained its glory days right now as the greatest show on turf is coming back. St. Louis, it's been a thoughtful clip with exciting information, and if you want to watch another, find out more about staying in Central Bank, which I know you want to, please click here to watch another.